It's Ross Allen Skorzewski, the host of the Dr. Patrick Flynn Show. We wish you a happy Tuesday. It's 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we are ready to talk to you about all things concerning health, business, leadership development, and even more. We might even irritate you a little bit. And once again, joining with me today, the one and only Dr. Patrick Flynn, the hormone whisperer, the man who can whisper to your hormones like nobody else can. Doc, talk to me. Training day.
Love training day.
It is.
It's been a great
beautiful
week.
day.
It's been a great week. We actually spent a little time today just going through some training and understand the purposes of pain.
Yes, the purpose of pain.
Yes, and then...
not that we ever experience it.
Yes, not at all.
No.
Daily. And then what happens is that we actually had a great time up in Iron Mountain, Michigan last Thursday.
Yes, the Kaizen Way.
Please watch our video that Fancy Nancy put together for us that way. It's kind of cool because a lot of people, when people request stuff, you know, we'll do our best to always accommodate that way. So people are always like, you know, I remember we got the email one time said, you know, Ross and Patrick, what's your day like through the day? It's like, okay, let's show them.
Here it is.
Here it is. And so, for example, it's like, and it's kind of hilarious because I had some people message me go, I didn't know I got engaged up in Iron Mountain. I'm like, yeah, I got engaged up in Iron Mountain, Michigan that way.
Yeah.
Way before I knew Thomas and Laura and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. And,
it was a park, but now became a large medical establishment, right?
Or it was a hospital that built the park,
okay.
And then they expanded because people are getting sicker.
Imagine that.
And so they destroyed the park and stuff, so it was kind of cool. So it was just that process that way. So it was kind of a nice little ride up through history and stuff like that for us that way. And then had a wonderful time with Thomas and Laura up there, Dr. Thomas and Laura. And then had a great time at the Hormone Connection. And holy mackerel. You know, just to let you guys know, I get hundreds, if not a joke, I get hundreds, you know, emails per week and things like that, and Facebooks and stuff. I literally just popped on Facebook this morning because I don't get to check it every once in a while. And it's really funny because a lot of people say, well, Doc, I see on Facebook. Sometimes it's not me. Sometimes it's my team checking it and posting stuff. So they think I'm on Facebook all day long. Guys, I don't check it sometimes every couple days that way. And that's why my doctors do it that way. But it's kind of funny. I just popped on our email. I haven't checked it since like Wednesday. And I'm like, holy mackerel. The amount of emails we got just from Iron Mountain. I just read a couple of them just before we started.
That's good.
So,
yeah.
And I love that because it was kind of cool. I know you're going to ask me a question, but I got to tell you this. It's just over here. I want to tell you this. It says, I attended your Hormone Connection seminar in Iron Mountain recently. The whole seminar really got me thinking. That's all I'm going to read about it that way. But right there,
that's enough.
I accomplished my goal.
Yes, got you thinking.
Yes, no sales, no things like that. I got him to think differently. And this young lady, for example, his name is Ginny. I will say this, Ginny from Iron Mountain. That's all I know about her that way. And stuff of that is Ginny just said right there. She's like, the whole seminar got me really thinking, and that's the goal. That's the goal of the show.
Yes.
That's the goal of everything that we do. Is not to sway you in any way. Is to give you some logic and reason and walk you through thinking, because you know something? Doctors don't want you to think.
No.
Actually, it's much easier to do than it is to think. People say, I'll just take action. Well, guess what? It's kind of funny. I created a quote, didn't realize I did it until Aaron actually did this here. And it said this. It's really funny. It says, I said, no joke, we were teaching our training today, and I said it. Stupid thinking and action just leads to stupid action.
Yeah.
Do you saying?
That's right.
It's all about thinking. You know what I'm saying? People need to think differently.
Be intentional.
Otherwise, because
thought out.
Because if you think the medical way, it's a stupid actions you take, and then you're frustrated and wonder why, you know, you're sick.
Yeah.
You know, I can't believe I'm sick. Really? Your thinking sucks.
That's right.
I can't, my marriage sucks. Yeah, because your thinking sucks. My kids are a mess. Yeah, because your thinking sucks.
Yep.
To me, but no one wants to take responsibility for themselves.
That's right. Keep doing the same things over and over and over, getting the same result. That is the definition of what? Insanity. Well, you say Democrats. I say insanity. So let's take a moment here, Doc. Let's welcome everybody who's watching us this afternoon. Let's kind of scroll through here. Julie Thomas, love the live shows. Hello from Green Bay. Hello to you. Sean, Michael Cooper, watching from Palmer, Florida.
Ah, Palmer.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Amy Connect from Conifer, Colorado. How's it going?
Amy.
Good to see you. So many of you, Valerie Krebs, Sue Holstead, Patty, Thomas and Long. How you doing, Doc? Good to see you. Thank you for joining all of you once again on this beautiful Tuesday. It's a crazy work here at the corporate office in Green Bay because we've got a massive training that's coming up down in Atlanta. Hotlanta.
Yes.
Here we come. The Wellness Way is going to invade, and we are going to take 2 days with all the docs across the United States. The Wellness Way. It's what we do. It's intentional. It's every week where we are intentionally connecting with the doctors you are, and it's personal growth and development. It's also clinical and, you know, developing with protocols. But it's like you just said, though, action without the proper mindset with the proper thinking leads to stupidity.
Stupid action.
But that's why we train the way that we do here at the Wellness Way. So with that, let's just do it real quick. For those of you who are continuing to comment and like and share and all that jazz, for our Hawaii trip, I want to show you what we have over to the side here.
Now, it's kind of funny. Just to let everybody know, we're kind of camera short today.
Yes, we are.
We're camera short today because, once again, we're
not camera shy.
Not camera shy, yes. We're camera
short.
And so what we're doing, because everything's shipped down to Atlanta already, so Nancy's running this, Fancy Nancy's running this whole show from her Canon camera.
Yep, her DSLR camera.
But over here,
thank you, Canon.
Look at, guys, everything there. Everything over there is because of what?
All the entries, the engagement from you. Yes.
Well, it's kind of funny.
We're going to stuff him inside the box.
That's right, because it's kind of funny. There's
don't knock it over. Don't break it.
I know, I'm just going to kind of go. But I was like, hey, this name can't be in there. This is Dr. Beth Cook. Dr. Beth can't win. Take it out. So, yes, don't worry.
Yes, all staff members, you know that you can't enter, unless you're just entering to say, hey, and they're accidentally putting you in there, but you know how the rules
this way,
go.
all those names are in there that way. Everybody has a chance to win, just for you guys actually coming live. Do you understand? If you are live, we are now, Brandon right now is writing names down like crazy. You go in that box. So if you watch our show because the drawing's in what, 6 or 7 weeks?
That's right,
you have
April
another
10th.
chance. We'll always throw more things. So by you watching live and just saying hi to us and where you're from today, gets you in that box that way.
Right.
And when you guys are coming with us,
that's right. To Hawaii, going to Maui.
That's
we are
right.
today. By the way, the hotel has been booked. We'll be putting that information up for one lucky winner that will be joining us down there.
Yes.
So make sure that you go to the link that is going to be provided for you so that you can see the terms and conditions that are lined out for you to see how it is.
And say it again.
We are going to do.
There is no catch.
There is no catch.
You're just gonna come to Hawaii,
interact with us,
hang with us on the beach.
That's it.
Come this way. So what happens this, and then just come in. You know, just
that's right.
It's actually really simple. You win. My staff will call you. They'll buy your ticket. We already have a hotel. Come join us for some wonderful dragon fruit smoothies and stuff.
It's going to be so amazing.
And join us on the beach, and for example, and just hang out with us.
Make sure you do go to the terms and conditions page, though, so you can see all the opportunities. There's shows that go, beyond this show, the Dr. Patrick Flynn Show, like tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., Wednesday morning quick hits with me, Ross Allen Skorzewski. We're going to be talking about some awesome, leadership and development as well as motivational aspects tomorrow morning. But then we also have Living Harmoniously. We have quick tips and other shows. So
there is no Living Harmoniously this week. See, to give you an example, I love the Living Harmoniously. Really got me thinking, because what happened is we get so many questions I like to answer live. So we will be in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? We'll be in Atlanta on Thursday, so therefore it won't be till next week, because what happens is this, that show is done amazing. The amount of questions that come in during that time,
want to be
that's why I want to do it live,
Yep.
because once again, sometimes guys, when you think I'm live, I'm not.
Imagine that.
That's why it's like, wait, dog, you didn't say hi to me that day. Yeah, because I might have been in Florida and it looked like I was in a studio. So, but the Living Harmoniously, now they're on. We are live right now. So that's why when we do say your name that way, it's kind of funny and stuff. So yeah, just understand that. So
Valerie Krebs from Oregon. Wow.
Very nice.
How do you say? Is it Oregon, Oregon?
Dude, I barely got a 2.0 in school and you're asking me?
I think I got you beat, though. And this isn't anything really to kind of, I'm going to poke fun at it. It's my life. I can do whatever I want. 0.014.
Nice.
I had 2 9th grades.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed my teachers, and I wanted to do it again. I'm just saying. So when you said 2.0, yeah, sorry about that. Anyways, I'm going to say Oregon. We're going to go with that. So once again, thank you everybody for joining us today. Guy Wolf, awesome. Annie, good to see you again. Heidi Serena, wonderful. Let's do this, man.
All right, what we got today? I saw the title.
You saw the title, Frustration Boils Over, and you already kind of hit on it a little bit without even knowing about it, but let's dive right into this amazing question. Well, I don't know I think you're just tapping into what a lot of people are experiencing today. All right, so this lady writes in, I have been watching your show for quite some time now and find myself very frustrated. Not at you, but how clueless the doctors I have seen over the years seem to be. How does one begin to get a doctor to connect the dots? Wow.
She's not going to like my answer.
I'm going to probably say you can't.
You can't. Don't ask a foot doctor to do brain surgery.
There you go.
Do you see what I'm saying? I love this. I had this morning from a woman that said to me, Doc, how can I get my doc to test my hormones properly? You can't. Guys, I don't have my dentist, for example, fix my floor. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, it's really hilarious because we automatically think because they are a doctor that they
Equipped.
know what they're doing.
Right.
No, let me explain you this, okay? Go back to the example. Once again, if your house is on fire, use the fire department, put it out. You have a burnt-up house. Yes, you didn't burn down, but you need to rebuild it.
And they destroyed everything.
Yeah, exactly. So you call a carpenter. You don't get mad at the fire department because they destroyed your house, and actually then you actually have a burnt-up house. You say what?
Thank you.
Okay? So when you go into a doctor, this is going to be a show today where I'm actually going to defend doctors. Now,
imagine that. One for the history books, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not talking natural doctors. I'm talking medical doctors, okay? Let me explain something. Medicine has done this really well, as Lizzie's phone went off. She's new, so
what are you new?
It reminds me of that movie Joe Dirt when he's actually at that thing. I'm new.
Oh my gosh, I'm new.
Yeah.
Just for that, you have to co-host the rest of the show. Thank you.
Right.
Come on over. Oh, she's like, I got this.
Okay, what was that?
You were just saying basically you're going to start defending the medical doctors.
Okay, but imagine this. Medicine has done a good job. Let me say this again. They've done a good job of creating life-saving procedures.
Sure.
Think about that. Now, let me explain this now. Here's the tough part. They've done absolutely horrible at everything else health-related. That's it. Do you understand? And that's why health care has just become disease management.
Yeah, or sick care. I've even heard the term sick care,
yeah,
disease
but
management.
I still want to call it health care for them because they'll say user health care. I said, no, it's just become a way of management of actually getting you through the day. Okay? So don't be frustrated with your doctor when that's what he does and stuff like that. Find a different doctor that does different things.
Yes.
It's why, for example, our clinics have become so popular because we offer a different approach. Guys, listen. The Wellness Way Inflammation Talk is giving you a great idea, for example, of what is the difference. Do you see what I'm saying? I give credit where credit is due. Medicine does a great job of saving your life. They do a bad job at everything else healthcare related. Everything else. Everything else. From a pediatrician, which is the most useless doctor on the planet, okay, to general practitioners, useless. It's not a joke. Do you see what I'm saying?
You're so messing with people's mindsets when you say that, because that's all they've known. We've been dealing with generations and generations of families who have had pediatricians, general practitioners.
Well, actually, it's not true. Pediatricians were made up in the last 20 years.
There you have it, people.
Think about this. If you're our age, you went to the general doctor. Pediatricians are just vaccine pushers. That's all they are. Ooh, oh, no, I really like my pediatrician. Yeah, but don't freaking come and complain to me like you do, saying my doctor has to give me the vaccine talk. He thinks totally the same way. He's just validating you so you like him. And then when he tells you, then when stuff gets worrisome and he says, do this, you're like, okay, you're saying?
Yeah.
It's like, don't do that. You're saying that people want, it's like this. How can I get my doctor to do this? You can't. How can I get my insurance to do this? You can't. Stop it. You're saying? And until you stop it, you're going to be just as sick and healthy and as everybody else is.
Yep.
That's why I keep on going. It's kind of hilarious. I'm like, great, disagree with me, and guess what? Go on with your life. You'll be just as sick, unhappy, and fat as everybody else.
Right.
Do you understand? That's what happens. It's not a joke. It's like I'm trying to give you a different perspective that way. That's what the Wellness Way does.
Yes, and that's the perspective that this show is all about. So you're saying right now, doctors are clueless, she's sick and tired of it. So the next thing is, as we've been talking before, you're asking the right questions, but now it's time for action, but not just action. It's thinking, though. It's starting to think differently and change.
The patient has to change their thinking.
Yes.
They have to walk into the doctor, and I don't care what doctor it is, ask them questions. Do your research. See what I'm saying?
And if they can't?
If they can't, well, how can't they? Unless, I've never seen even a poor person not have this.
No, I'm saying if they can't, if the doctor cannot answer the questions,
then find a different doctor.
Then find a different doctor. Exactly.
That's it.
Let's take control of your own healthcare.
Basically, what they're saying is this. This is what happens, and I've had this tough discussion with patients. They want their doctor to do it because they don't want to pay money out of their pocket. You saying? I want my pediatrician to do this because they'll be paid. I want my doctor to run this because they'll be paid.
Yes.
Yeah, how's it working for America? How's it working for all? See, people like to tear on America how bad healthcare is. Healthcare sucks everywhere. See what I'm saying? And where healthcare seems good to people is when you go to Africa and they poop and pee in the same place they drink and eat, where we've all been there for mission trips and things like that. Or you go to Honduras, they poop and pee where they eat, and all of a sudden they come in and bring a medical clinic and give them some antibiotics, and it's like the most life-saving thing because they're not dying at 12 of freaking, an infection. because they're pooping and eating the same thing. And then what happens is we think medical care is the greatest thing in the world. No, they did a job of actually extending our life because you actually cleaned up some things. But then they automatically go into this aspect of they know what they're doing health-wise. No, they don't. If they did, we wouldn't be so darn sick.
Right. There
would be so many, it's really funny. The biggest debate there always is about healthcare. The biggest debate in all politics. Why? Who's going to pay for it? See, so when people ask me a question, don't be. See, I know this patient's like going. This person might go, I'm never watching this damn show again. Or she's expecting me to say, talk to your doctor, yell him. No, leave the freaking office, take your wallet out, and go pay a doctor that knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but you could also be confirming at the same time the very thing that she's been feeling. If she's that frustrated, I mean,
yeah, I don't know the history.
Frustrated and doing nothing with this information is, yeah, it's.
I don't get frustrated because when I go get my oil changed, that my left foot pain doesn't go away.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I know I'm giving a stupid analogy, but the idea is this: it's like, listen, we actually think just because they deal with the body in some way, they know what they're doing with everything that way. You see, it's it's really funny though. Do this. No one is ever frustrated with me if they broke their arm and I can't fix it. I say, here, go to the emergency room and have them do drugs and surgery. No one ever goes, I can't believe that Dr. Flynn didn't do this. I'm so mad. I'm just so frustrated. Yeah. No, they go, he told me to go to the hospital because I broke my, it happened. I personally come in a broken bone, they didn't know it. I said, you got to go to the hospital. What? I go to the hospital? Yeah. I don't know. I can't fix your broken arm. Go get a cast. Go get if you need pins, needles, stuff like that. That's what's it.
Sure.
You say it. So I said, so some of the frustrations come down to is your expectations of what you have that doctor that you want him to do.
Right.
You say him, and if he says, if he says that he can do this and he can't, well then he's just a liar. Then what the heck are you there for in the first place? Again.
Yes.
Do you understand? But really what it comes down to, I said, I've seen this for so long, and I'm not saying this person because I don't know who it is. Remember, I don't know the question, and I don't know where they come from. The only questions I know is the ones I get, I got hundreds of them in front of me right now, is the fact that this is, but I've heard this question so much, and really what it comes down to is this. How can I get my doctor to do it so it'll get paid through by insurance?
Yes.
So
really, I mean, once again, it's not really about you changing the mind of the doctor or connecting the dots for them. Connect your own dots.
Yeah.
Connect your own dots, take the information, think, and then put the right kind of action behind that and do something with this information so that you're not continually frustrated, because no one can help a person who's continually frustrated by doing the same thing over and over and over and over. You should expect to be frustrated. You should expect the same results.
Yeah. Do you understand? It's really funny like this. It's like people say, Doc, I want my GI not to inflame. What can I do? And I will literally do this. I'll literally type it back and say, cut out, just say, no testing or anything. Just do this. Cut out gluten, dairy, and soy for a week. And they text back and they miss back and say, Doc, I've seen so much improvement.
Right.
But here's what happens. Within a short time after they feel better, what do they go back and do?
Eat all those things that you told them to stay away from.
Exactly. See, what happens is they want an answer that fixes everything.
Yes.
And that's virtually impossible.
Fix too.
Here, let me tell you something that a doctor will never do. They'll never fix you.
No, that's a good point.
Even if I take a dead body and I break its arm, guess what happens? You can surgery it up. Guess what? It's still got to heal. See, the thing is this. Your body is programmed to do certain things that way. And yes, there's certain things, if you consistently bombard it with things that are going to constantly do it, no doctor can fix you from anything. You can't fix a stupid habit. Do you understand? You have to choose to change the habit, and then guess what? You'll get the result. But most people walk in the doctor and say, what magic pill, what magic herb, what magic adjustment can I do to make these things go away? And when we turn around and say, no, you have to change your thinking and approach it this way, a lot of people go, I don't want to do that. Do you understand? And then what they do is they go back to the other doctors, and because they didn't like the answer, and they're always looking for a different doctor to give them that one answer they're looking for.
Sure. Good question, though. It really is, but probably a little painful to hear today, because it's not about the doctor, it's about you.
The training today was painful.
Yes, it was. It was painful.
Yeah, so what happens is this. Now, here, let's say you are truly searching. Let's say this person, once again, I don't know the person that way, so thank you for sending the question. I appreciate it. But like I said, you asked me for my opinion and stuff. So imagine this. So let's say, for example, that your doctor actually, is like, okay, your thyroid's bad, here, take this medication. Well, then there should be more questions. Do you understand? Doc, how long do I have to take this medication? Well, forever. Well, guess what? There's still a problem. Do you understand?
It wasn't fixed.
Wasn't fixed.
That's right.
See, so don't just accept the answer, even though, for example, there's no end in sight that way. You say that's a big thing. See, it's really funny. People say, Doc, how long do I have to see you for? I said, until you stop doing bad things. And then a lot of people, that's why I've been taking care of some people for 19 years. Why?
Because you still doing bad things.
That's why when people eat bad, I just sit there and go, thank you.
Job security.
Job security. Keep doing it. That's why it's not a joke. The number one reason, bar none, that the Wellness Way has done so well, number one's vaccines, by far. Vaccines that poison more people, cause more health issues. But actually, I will tell you this. Deal with women. So let's take women. The number one reason why I see women, because they're so stressed out all the time. We talked about last time.
Yep.
I love the comments, for example, that, and we actually literally got a question going, and I was kind of paging through the emails last Wednesday. And a woman actually sent a question in that said, can you relate mental stress and illness? And I didn't realize we did it on that show the day before. You're saying, so I actually gave her the link to it that way.
Yes,
and she sent it back and she says, you're the only doctor that talks like that. And I'm like, well, guess what? Our doctors across country speak to women like this all the time. You're saying, that's why it's kind of relieving saying, ladies, get that stress under control because it will cause major illness.
Love this. There's a comment that someone just made on here, and it's well worth reading. It says, I spent well over $10,000 at doctors, and their plan was just wait and see.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I was becoming sicker and sicker.
Okay.
Went to the Wellness Way and had answers and a plan within a month.
Nice.
And I love it. She says, if you keep doing what you've always done, you will keep getting what you always got. That is a great comment, ladies and gentlemen. So remember, connect your own dots. Don't worry about connecting others for them. Connect yours and take care of your own health. And let's go on to question number 2 here with the 8 minutes and 25 seconds that we have left, because you mentioned it. What were you just mentioned, if you were to just tell somebody that wasn't willing to do the testing, what foods would you tell them to stay away from right away?
Well, it's really simple. Okay, let me.
Well, but that's not the question.
Oh, it's not?
No, just you mentioned how many things? You said what?
There's 4
Gluten?
things I'll tell you right now that I would stay away from. Okay? Gluten, dairy, soy, and corn.
All right, stop right there. You like that, don't you? Here's the question. My mother and I were talking about soy, and she came right out and said, soy is bad for your hormones.
I like that, Mama.
Can you explain why soy is not a healthy option when it comes to hormones? Thank you.
Well, here's what happens, is this. Because you have all these people that actually look and they talk about the Chinese and things like that way. Guys, look in the mirror. Most of you guys are not Chinese. Okay? It's true. Okay? Sorry, but let's just start there.
Story.
Okay? Because culture does have a lot of things. Don't believe me? Be an Eskimo your whole life and eat fruit. Sometimes it's bad for them.
That's a good point.
They lived on fish and blubber their whole life. Generations of it that way. Okay, so here's what happens. This is what happens. Soy became popular because of animal rights. It really did. Soy in America became popular because of animal rights. Because you know what happened is this. Do you really think of it this way? When European cultures came out of here, they ate everything to survive. I have to tell you something really funny, just to pick on vegans a little bit that way, because you guys sometimes drive me nuts. And you can be a healthy vegan. I believe that a plant-based diet is, for example, it should be dominant that way. But guys, I was down at Whole Foods in Milwaukee, okay? And you guys were freaking picketing because they're selling rabbit meat. And you had these pictures of these bunnies and up on the stands and picketing going, you're so moronic because you don't realize if it was 200 years ago, there was no grocery store. You had to kill that rabbit to even survive and eat.
Here comes Peter Cottontail
exactly.
down the rabbit trail.
And I'm sitting there going as a kid growing up in the country going, look at the bunny, I'm going, man, that looks pretty good for lunch. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just stop it, okay? It's really funny. So long story short I lost my train of thought because, as I said, I'm on a rampage of tyranny.
You are on a rampage.
What was the question again we were just talking about?
We were talking about soy.
Okay, soy.
Yes.
So what happens is this. So vegans, which once again, if you're a vegan, great. My personal belief, knowing the body, is that the domination of your food should be plant-based. It really should. Now let me say that. Even though that's one of my degrees, and even though, for example, I say that, I don't ever want to eat a vegetable. I do all the time, but I don't want to. So I don't think I like them just because I know they're good for you, okay? So but here's what happens. So vegans, for example, I've always said this. Vegans are obsessive meat eaters. That's why they turn everything into a burger. You never heard me say that, did you?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here thinking, man, if you were talking about what I really want, I'm thinking it's Taco Tuesday, man.
Yes.
I mean, like Taco Bell, and you're like, really? You crave that? And I'm like, there's a part of me that...
Exactly. Yeah. So let's go back here. So that's why soy became so popular. Now here's how they take it out of context. Because what they do with anything, they take it out of context. Because once again, if you look at a soybean, okay, once again, what happens is this. The protein content is extremely high in soy. And what do vegans massively lack? Protein. So that's when they're dominant sources because it was cheap and easy in the United States. And then the Europeans didn't even know that there's Chinese people, and they had it until they understand cultures and stuff like that. And then they pointed out, yeah, but you got to remember, most of your soy that has any kind of benefit has to have one major thing, fermentation. Do you see what I'm saying?
So that's the key part right there. In order for it to become more beneficial, is the fermentation process?
Well, it's not beneficial at all. Here's the major point.
All right.
Let me explain. In the United States, the majority of your soy is genetically modified. Guys, listen. That means they take viruses and change the DNA of the food the way it was intended to. That should be scary right there. Okay? So once again, that right there. Second of all, let's say it's organic soy grown perfectly. The history, if you want to go to Chinese and all the things that actually had more of a sea-based vegetable, they had other things mixed with it, and they fermented it, and they made it into soups and things like that actually denatured all of the major proteins that people react to today. So the sourcing, so nobody in China ate veggie burgers a long time ago made with soybeans, okay? It was fermented that way. And so it's again, because if you look at the protein, people say, because I hear vegans say this all the time, well, look at the protein in soy. Yeah, but what about the trypsin inhibitors, and that's in that same soy that destroy your thyroid? Do you see what I'm saying? Actually, here, guys, go this. Go on levothyroxine and Synthroid's website. They talk about that you don't want to mix soy with your medication because it alters even your thyroid medication, guys. Whoa, you didn't know that, did you? Do you see what I'm saying? It's on the website. Go check it out. See, because why? Because soy itself can have a significant amount of damage to the thyroid itself that way, okay? It's why when I see people that are vegan, no, let me say this again. Can you be a healthy vegan? Yes, you just got to know superfoods and that really well to get enough proteins and fatty acids and B vitamins that way. That's why vegans always say, well, I don't eat meat, but I substitute with vitamin B. Well, why don't you eat something that has vitamin B? See, they don't think that way. They want to, because most of the people that really, and I was kidding, plant-based is you have to have a dominant plant-based thing anyway, okay? But the idea is that so the soy aspect has so many other things that are wrong with it. Your argument, for example, of protein and things like that, guess what? Doesn't hold much weight because, once again, if there was arsenic and poison in there, the protein content doesn't matter anyways.
Right, you wouldn't touch it.
Yeah.
Can it alter the ability for fertility? Can it influence that? Well, I've heard arguments over the years that soy can do more damage than good.
By nature, for example, soy has some phytoestrogens in there. Now, what they do, it's kind of funny because a lot of people say, well, doc, I eat soy and my estrogen levels are fine. I say, let me see your soy, let me see your test. They didn't measure all of them.
Sure.
They measure all the estrogens. So they take it out of context because they measured estradiol. Because all the research says, it doesn't really alter the estradiol that much. Yeah, there's much more soy-based thing or estrogens than estradiol that way. And they're not measuring the ones that are actually being altered that way. I'm like, all right, let me run a lab on you, let me run a urine test on you, and I see all the metabolites in there that are off significantly with it that way. Then you won't say too much that soy is not altering it that way.
Sure.
And the reason why some women benefit from soy, quote, let's say benefit from it that way, when they actually eat it, is because their estrogens are really low.
Ooh, so it's bringing the levels back up.
Yeah, that's their claim to fame. It's like, well, it's good in hormonally deficient women. No, the woman shouldn't be hormonally deficient.
In the first place.
And I'd rather see other things that they can do that don't cause damage to your body that can help normalize those estrogens.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, to be honest with you, I've never been a big fan of soy, but I've also known, too, that like when our daughter was born, we knew that she was having some lactose issues, right? She couldn't do milk and certain cow's milk and all that stuff. And I'm like, there are so many alternatives. And we had some people that were saying, well, try soy milk, soy milk, soy milk. And you were like, don't do it, and
yeah, well, get this. We had a conversation with a patient yesterday. Do you know when I started practice, the alternative milk was rice?
Rice milk, yeah.
That was it. It was so tough, and rice milk doesn't taste that great. Do you understand? You go to the store now, the dairy industry is freaking out. You know why? Because, once again, here's what happens, guys. Stop buying bad food. The costs will go down. The milk alternatives are fighting like crazy, and what happens when there's competition? It goes down in cost. Coconut milk and all those milks used to be more expensive when they were just the only one on the block.
Now with
oat, hemp, cashew milk, flax, all these milks, for example, guess what happens? It drives the cost of all the things down.
That's right.
You want to see organic products go down in cost? Guess what? Stop buying the junk. And guess what people will do? Then other brands will go, well, they're buying a lot of coconut milk. We're going to produce one too because it's still a business.
That's right.
But they're smart business people that'll go, I need to produce those things for the customer.
That's right. Remember, this show is always about giving you the right information that we believe to be the right information to inform you so that you could do something with it. Be intentional with your action steps. Don't continue to repeat stupid because you're just going to get stupid action. That's what he said earlier. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just saying, hey, if you're not willing to change, you can't be upset with the same results you keep on getting day after day after day. With that, don't forget to join me tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time for Wednesday Morning Quick Hits with Ross. We'll see you next week. Have a great day.